Brett Hodgson at fullback, Burt and Moody the wingers, Lyon and Bielecki the centres, Butner is 5'8", Jason Taylor at half, Daniel Wagon at lock, Hindmarsh brothers Nathan and Ian the second rowers, Nathan Kalis captains the side in the front row alongside Vella and Drew. On the bench there is one change, Marsh, Andrew Ryan, he takes his place, he had a hamstring problem during the week, Solomona and Chan coming in for Chad Robinson, coached by Brian Smith.
The Broncos bounced back to form last week. Can they keep it going? Lockyer, the captain, Takiri, Saylor, Chris Walker in the centres, Kelly, Shane Walker, his brother, comes into the 5'8" position. Berrigan, Burns, Myers, Carlaw, Webke, Sivanasiva and Prittis on the bench. Curry, Parker, DeVere and Ryan, coached by Wayne Bennett.
Referee for the game, Bill Harrigan. Brisbane have won 46 from 65 under Harrigan. Parramatta 25 from 42. Kick-off. Preliminary final number 2 is underway with Michael Vella, the first of the Parramatta Eels to be tackled, and Hodgson goes across the ground, straightens up off his right foot, makes a very big effort down to the halfway line, loses the ball, but Hodgson straight through Brisbane, second play of the day.
And a warning shot for the Broncos. Parramatta all season have been very good out of dummy half. Hodgson across the field, showing the ball left and right, and gets in between Myers and Berrigan to set up the first break in the opening moments of the game. Unfortunately stumbles and loses the football. Broncos with the scrum feed coming straight back.
Takiri now. 5 metres into Parramatta's side of play. Shane Walker was the dummy half, and an offload back there for Stuart Kelly, and taken to ground aggressively by the Parramatta combination of Wagon and Bird, and now Saylor leaves an imprint. Tackle just beyond the Parramatta 20-metre line. Opening exchanges of the sudden death preliminary final. Webke then taking it towards the centre of the ground. Vella was there, Drew was there, and so too was Hindmarsh as they go across to Berrigan. Berrigan goes for a second man play, and then an angled run by Takiri coming back on the inside of Lockyer. Brisbane then, 5 metres out, first chance to really have a go at the line. The kick by Lockyer, and the jumper's on for Saylor and for Bielecki, and Bielecki wins the contest.
And there you could see that Parramatta taken precaution against that cross kick. Luke Burt going into the centres, the taller man Bielecki out on the wing, diffused it nicely. Eels 10 out in their own line with Daniel Wagon scooting out of dummy half.
Wagon then pulled down just inside his red zone as Brad Drew unloads through Jason Taylor. They've started the game with Taylor, and here is Moody making a run, but it ends as he is shouldered over the sideline by Chris Walker.
Well, this is quite an incredible start from the Parramatta Eels, who pride themselves on ball control. Moody gets in behind Takiri, has space on the outside, and Jamie Lyon in support. Walker shows him the sideline, gets a good solid hit on him, or a push at least. And for the second time, on the first tackle, the Eels have turned the ball over.
So another scrum in good field position for the Broncos as Takiri goes wide for Lockyer. Lockyer even wider for Saylor. No room to work in. He's struggling to get rid of 3 and 4 Eels defenders. He gets it down to the 20-metre line. Impressive start for Saylor. Impressive start for the Broncos, I suppose. Webke now hammers the ball up to be met by Nathan Hindmarsh and Nathan Kalis. Ball played 12 metres out from the line, and the centre of the ground has gone through Berrigan. Away it goes now over Shane Walker. From Shane Walker it goes over the top there to Carlaw, and Carlaw will play the ball 8 metres away from the Parramatta line. Play over on the eastern side of the ground. Again it comes away to Sivanasiva, and Sivanasiva, who got a couple of tries early in the game last weekend, is tackled just a metre out from the line. And Prittis it is who looks around, goes out to the blind side, picks up Shane Walker, who in turn picks up Dane Carlaw. Carlaw pulled down. Parramatta's defence holding on the short side of defence. Now from Chris Walker, it's gone back and across, and here's Lockyer, gets a kick in, and Berrigan might have been in front of him. It's gone over the dead ball line. Referee has given a penalty.
A good call there, Ray. No doubt that the chaser on the inside of Darren Lockyer was offside. Sean Berrigan, half a metre in front. Well and truly involved in the play. Very strong tackle on the far side a moment ago from Jamie Lyon on Dane Carlaw. It was much needed tackle. Jason Taylor finds touch. 22 out. They will be hell-bent on completing this set of 6.
Michael Vella Out to the 30-metre line. Peter, did you have any doubts that Jason Taylor would start the game for Parramatta?
None whatsoever, right?
Kalis now with a big run. Parramatta's fullback Hodgson is with the ball. Hodgson has got it down to the 30-metre line. Parramatta making inroads. Now it's Drew. Now it's Taylor. Now it's Wagon. Wagon held 20 metres out from the Broncos line. Parramatta's first view of Brisbane territory. Kalis. Prentice around the leg, Sivanasiva over the top. Drew is the dummy half. To the right they go to Michael Butner. Now to Jason Taylor. Second man play put down by Ian Hindmarsh. It'll be a scrum to go down 10 metres away. 20 metres in from touch, eastern side, in that northeastern corner of Stadium Australia.
3 sets of 6 for Parramatta, 3 half chances. Beautiful ball there from Kalis onto the chest of Hodgson, who nearly pulls away. He gets around Lockyer and nearly gets out or steps out of that Prentice tackle, holds on by the shorts. Some tackles later down the right-hand side of the field. Taylor throws a second man play behind to Ian Hindmarsh, takes his eyes off the ball. 3rd set of 6, 3rd turnover to Parramatta, but they look dangerous whenever they move the football.
Bend your head down. Hold. Daniel in, go.
Ominous signs for the Broncos as they win the scrum expectedly, and then second row forward Dane Carlo standing out of the scrum takes the first tackle. Wendell Sailor.
Very important here, Ray, that Parramatta do not give a penalty in this set of 6. They do not want to be down defending their own line again so early. Plenty of pressure against them with that field position they've given the Broncos as Webke's tackled 40 out. Prentice, short side, throws the dummy, tackle on halfway.
Drew and Wagon making the tackle on the representative number 9. The ball has gone across over to Lockyer. Lockyer gets it onto Chris Walker, the flying centre, and he's pulled down about 38 metres away from the Parramatta line. Play on the far side of the ground from Takiri. It comes away for Lockyer. Lockyer gets it away to Shane Walker. Now it's on to Myers. Myers tries to straighten it up. He's taken by the defence 28 metres out in the centre of the park. Beautiful day in Sydney. Stadium Australia hosting the second of the preliminary finals as Lockyer rolls it down to Jason Moody on his own line. He'll take Hodgson with him. He won't use him. He lost the ball! Wonderful opportunity for the Broncos.
Well, there was definitely a rake here, but were there 2 in the tackle? Lockyer comes in. He's definitely raked that out. There were 2 in the tackle. That is a very tough call against Parramatta. Should have been a penalty their way. Lockyer raked it. Berrigan was involved.
Scrum won by the Broncos. They go to the blind side towards the Walker brothers. Shane is tackled. That's Chris pushing the tacklers away. Dummy half gives it away to Sivanasiva. Sivanasiva takes 2 of the Eels defenders out of the game with him. He'll play the ball 2 metres away back to Prentice. To the right now for Berrigan. Berrigan inside ball for Bradley Myers. Myers close to the line. Prentice again. He might have a go. Unloads to Lockyer. Lockyer's pass went forward. Advantage Parramatta. Hodgson was with the ball. Jason Moody. He's lost the ball again. It is a penalty.
The penalty they get, and they should have got moments earlier. Moody hits up very, very strongly. 2 players in the tackle. I think he's lost that one. The previous one was definitely a strip. That one came out with impact. Bradley Myers indicates his annoyance at the decision. A bit of a let-off there for the Eels, who have gone 4 sets of 6, 4 turnovers.
Jason Moody has touched the ball 3 times and come up with 3 mistakes. 1 over the sideline and 2 drop balls. He needs to assess his ball security at the moment. Drew onto Kalis.
Now for Taylor. Second man again. Butner goes out to the winger with a cutout ball across the face, and Burt flicks it back infield as he knows he's going out. Then it goes to Butner. Butner takes it away into a more safer area. 30 metres out, 15 metres in from touch. Drew going down towards the northern end of the ground, up to the 20-metre line. The ball goes out wide. Hodgson is with the ball. He's got Lyon with him. Lyon's got Moody with him. Moody's over. 4 times he's touched the ball. 3 mistakes and a try. Jason Moody scores for Parramatta.
Now, as Myers takes the decoy runner, and you'll see Chris Walker actually point to the shepherd before he heads off to his defence. So obviously the Broncos thought it was a shepherd.
I think it's no try, Phil. I think on what we've seen this season, I think that Brad Myers is denied an opportunity to get to Brad Drew because of that runner.
And Brad Myers is actually the one around Moody's legs. It's
a try.
So the try has been signified on the big screen.
Well, hang on.
But there still seems to be a fair amount of doubt on the faces of the players.
Well, obviously the officials don't believe that that green light we just saw is definite. Here we go now. Now it's...
Try has been awarded, but the correct weight sign went up prematurely.
Here's the play from Parramatta. Brad Drew out of dummy half as he normally does. As we freeze it there, and what we'll see is that Brad Drew will be looking for this player to come into that hole there. He will run around behind his back, and we'll see this man get very concerned about what's happened there and be too late to take these Parramatta players who've moved out wide. And as play continues, Drew goes behind him. The ball now goes wide. There's space on the outside. Lyon does well to draw and pass. Moody with a couple to beats gets back on the inside, and that's Bradley Meyer who comes up with the last grab on Moody, who was the player interfered with during that play there on Daniel Wagon.
This is at normal speed, Peter.
He does well here, Jason Moody. Hasn't been a happy start for him. Bumped off Berrigan, got inside Lockyer, carried Myers over. I've got to say, I've still got my doubt about that, but it's on the board. Parramatta will be very happy. Brisbane did get a couple of good calls at the other end. Taylor.
22 metres out, it's coming away. No goal, Parramatta though. First points on the board after 11 minutes. 4-0 against the Brisbane Broncos. Relay stations, we welcome you.
Stay behind.
Darren Lockyer restarting with a ball that I was about to say looks like it could do anything. Now Harrigan has called a knock on David Violecki.
Well, this is quite incredible from Parramatta. I've said it 3 times already. Look at that, he just takes his eyes off the football. That's a stone cold miss. I don't think the Parramatta players can believe it themselves, but a tremendous opportunity for the Broncos to strike straight back. They'll be feeling a little hard done by with that Shepherd decision at the other end.
Lockyer into his back line, Chris Walker and Lottie Takiri coming on the inside of Walker. Parramatta's defence shouldering up and forcing them back. Now it comes away, that's a lofted ball. It's a bad pass to Shane Walker, and Bradley Myers unloads in traffic. The ball goes back to Dane Carlaw, but they've used up a couple of tackles and they've actually lost ground. From the 20-metre line, Seven Asiva launches his personal attack. 12 away in the centre of the ground. Prentice for Berrigan. Berrigan cuts out Darren Burns. Burns running very similar really to the incident we saw at the other end of the ground that was allowed to go. And now it's Prentice again, picking up Webke, and Webke loses the ball. It went forward initially, says Harrigan.
Some strong defence here, front on by Brad Drew. And if it pops out and touches a Parramatta player, that constitutes a knock-on, even if it does eventually go back. The Eels have made plenty of mistakes, but there's no doubt defensively they are on top. They are defending much better than their opponents in the opening minutes.
Block-busting defence there from the Eels as they win the scrum, and David Violecki, who put them in this position, is tackled 10 metres out from his own line. Brad Drew running across and picking up Jamie Lyon.
What a battle out there again between the young guns. Chris Walker, Jamie Lyon, no love lost between them on their last performance. Two of the brightest prospects in the NRL.
Careless. Twice they've played this year and twice it's been wins for Parramatta. But the time before that was this very match last year, and Brisbane beat Parramatta. That was their 3rd preliminary final loss in a row, the Eels. It's the head-to-head since Brisbane's entry in 1988. Drew, ball bouncing away down to Lockyer and Takiri. Little misunderstanding between 2 of the 3 quarters for the Brisbane side. Played by Takiri eventually. Lockyer a dummy half, finding Webke, and Webke thunders up. But my goodness, I tell you what, they've hit him with plenty of artillery. Now it's Prentice letting a decoy go before finding Shane Walker. Shane Walker finding Darren Burns. Darren Burns for Stuart Kelly. And Kelly, he'll be put into touch, he gets the ball away. Good work by Kelly. And then Sailor uses Burns. Sailor, Sivanasiva, halfway line. Just left astern there by the big front row forward. Prittis for Berrigan. Berrigan cuts out Myers, goes behind, picks up Lockyer. Lockyer's through an opening. The ball has gone away to Carlaw. Carlaw's over. Dane Carlaw for Brisbane.
Hey! Jason, go back.
Yeah, that's a great hit back from the Brisbane Broncos. Darren Lockyer.
You've got to try first up.
Too much speed for Michael Buettner, who had to regroup after calling for a man inside to make the tackle.
And the play across field from the Broncos. A good second man play puts Lockyer on the outside as we freeze it there. And we can see that this man is going to be slow across the field to cover Lockyer, who will get on the outside to produce the support play for Carlaw to go on and score the try. And as play continues, Lockyer with the dummy stretches the inside part of the defence, gets the ball away to Carlaw. Now it's one-on-one with Hodgson. Big man on little man, good strength, lunges out, scores a try.
There's no surprise that he had superior speed because it was Ian Hindmarsh, a second rower, coming across. It wasn't Michael Buettner who was caught for speed. They just allowed men on the outside and they paid the penalty.
Having watched it and analysed it, there was a very courageous attempt to prevent the try from Brett Hodgson, but Dane Carlaw, much bigger. Big and tough, plenty of speed. He's been playing wide today. One of the young success stories of 2001 is Dane Carlaw. 4-all now.
Just when I gave Parramatta a rap for their defence, first chink appeared. And no surprise, the man in shot now was the player created the try for the Brisbane side. That's what they want to do. They want to get him one-on-one against a slower defender. If that happens, he will carve them up.
25 out from the touchline for Lockyer. And Lockyer has got it. Flags are in the air. Brisbane are in front. Brisbane by 2 after 16 minutes. Channel 9's Wide World of Sports, providing you with the coverage exclusively of the second sudden death qualifying final. Big run by Sivanasiva, saw Brad Drew bounce away through the impact. Webke now, second of the battering rams. Prittis using Myers. And that's what they basically did during the Origin, didn't they? 2 front rowers and then 2 big second rowers. And then they would use Sailor or Takiri, and here's Sivanasiva. They don't do it this time. They use another front row forward. And the last tackle for Sivanasiva as he plays it, it goes out to Darren Lockyer. He kicks ahead. Walker was just in front of him, but the ball has gone into touch.
Well, that was a very state of origin looking set of 6 from the Broncos. Forward after forward, crashing over the advantage line. And the first part of their plan to beat Parramatta is in place. They're going to play from in front. An early lead was imperative for them to settle into the game. Watch Brad Drew cartwheel out the back here. Went in on big Sivanasiva and he just busted him out of the way. Forward after forward, rampaging. This was Sivanasiva's second run. Again at Brad Drew, looking to find small men in the defensive line. Broncos in front. That's the first part of their plan completed.
Jason Moody. Great run by the winger. Not his first of the game. He got the try for them. Wagon 8 metres from halfway. Drew out for Vella. And they are now into Brisbane territory. Parramatta striking back. Kalis. Taylor calling it. Taylor with a little kick. Buettner is after it. Buettner's got another kick on it. And Sailor with the ball for Brisbane. Sailor doing a magnificent job. Gets back into the field of play.
Oh, that is class from Wendell Sailor, saving his team there and beating 3 players in the end goal. Buettner gets a toe on it. He's hit by Lockyer. I don't think Lockyer could have done much about that, but certainly Wendell Sailor could have either let this go dead. It Didn't look as though it was going to run. He picks it up. Watch the work he does here. Left foot step, beats Taylor. Comes in on Burt. Left foot step, strength, gets away from Burt. Now he's got to set his sights on Violecki. A big man left, right, bump. Shove to get back into the field of play. Wagon comes in, they can't stop him.
Webke meantime, 25 metres away from the Brisbane line. Lockyer on the last tackle, putting his kick down the ground. Fielded 30 metres away from the Parramatta line by Hodgson. Hodgson runs across to find Violecki. Violecki's picked up in defence by Stuart Kelly. Change going on for Parramatta in jumper number 15 as Andrew Ryan.
He comes on for Michael Vella. Been a wonderful battle up front, as we saw last night between the front rowers. That's Ryan's first touch. 35 out. Good play the ball. The marker's slow to get back.
Drew finding Kalis. Kalis across for Taylor. Taylor out it goes for Butner. Butner then away for Jamie Lyon. He kicks and he's turned to Keary around. Oh, this is close. No, there's no real excitement from Jason Moody. I think Bill Harrigan's more concerned about how to restart the game.
Yeah, Jamie Lyon's got a very good short kicking game. We've seen him on a lot of occasions roll these type through. Takiri has got his left hand there and pushed it out over the sideline just in front of the diving Moody. It will be a line dropout.
He was prepared to gamble with this. I reckon thoughts of Robbie O'Davis were going through his head. I can't leave this too long. And he could just feel Moody breathing down his neck. Got his hand to the ball, knocked it dead. This will be a line dropout, more pressure for the Broncos. But a good kick there from Jamie Lyon. Threaded the needle, got it to roll down the sideline, put Takiri under a lot of pressure.
Six points to 4. Brisbane leading, no try, goal line dropout. Nobody was getting too excited about the prospect of a try. I'm positive Bill Harrigan was checking to see what the restart had to be, as Lockyer sends the line dropout down, and well taken there by Andrew Ryan. That's the way to do it. Got an awful bounce, handled it well. Wagon goes over to the right of the ground, and he will play the ball 30 metres out, centre of the park. Brad Drew then, off and away for Taylor. And Ian Hindmarsh offers the mistake, which is accepted by Brisbane. It is a mistake-ridden performance by Parramatta, really, on their own standards.
Yeah, they're really out of sorts, Rabbits. I've always said with the week off, if it's going to affect you, it'll affect you early rather than later. Doesn't worry how you finish the game, but sometimes starting the game can be a problem, and it certainly has been for the Eels today.
And there's Michael DeVere getting his first touch. Has not played since round 24. He's hurt against the Sharks. A real bonus for the Brisbane Broncos to have him back in the ranks as Prittis turns it back to Lockyer. Myers up the middle.
21 minutes of the game gone. As Prittis finds Lockyer, puts a kick in, he'll get the regather, then he catches and he passes, and the bounce comes off Parramatta. They planted the ball. Takiri is with it for Brisbane. Takiri inside the 20-metre line.
We've got Nathan Kalis in trouble, just coming back on side. You see him on the Brisbane side of play there. Shane Walker inside to Myers. Still plenty of tackles, 4 up their sleeve.
Myers then playing it for Prittis, and he goes to Berrigan, and Berrigan goes inside the 10-metre line, looks around, the ball comes loose, didn't it? Yes, it's come loose, and Bill Harrigan is going to pack a scrum down.
Well, on the advice of a touch judge here, they're going to rule a knock on. Broncos players feel a little confused with that decision.
How could this be a knock on? From a long way away, it looked as though it was knocked back. This is, again, Lockyer showing his brilliance.
They're really out of sorts, Parramatta, aren't they? They're grabbing for the football. Here's Moody with an easy shot on it. He's not looking where he's going. Touches the ball. That gave them 6 again.
Alex Chan coming on in jumper number 20. Andrew Voss down on the sideline. Yes, Andrew?
It's been an interesting reshuffle, Ray, with the inclusion now of Michael DeVere. On the previous set of 6 when they were defending, he was defending in a position that a 5'8" would be. In attack, he's lining up more or less as a fullback. So just an interesting change from Wayne Bennett. The centres stay as they are, Chris Walker and Stuart Kelly, despite DeVere being out there.
Nathan Kalis brought from his field. And his place taken by Alex Chan. A late inclusion for Brian Smith. Here's David Violecki now.
He's been Parramatta's best in the first 20. Nathan Kalis, superb performance up front.
Wagon!
Good step.
Wagon's into open space. Hodson's away. Oh, an ankle-tapping tackle by Luke Prentice it was. Parramatta attacking. Now they've run out of support play. Andrew Ryan was crying out for support. Now it's with Drew. Drew gets it away. Then it goes down at the feet of Wagon, and Brisbane are back with it.
Oh, their possession flow chart at half-time is going to look absolutely terrible. The Parramatta Eels. Brad Drew, this is a beautiful little left foot step from Wagon, gets him on the outside of runners, and Brett Hodgson, for the 4th time in the game, finds space and looks certain to score, only to be tipped from behind. Prentice again it is, who's been following Hodgson everywhere, just gets a hand on the right thigh of Hodgson, enough to knock him off balance.
Do you see the perseverance from Luke Prentice there? He was never a chance of running him down, but he put his head down and chased and chased and chased.
Inside ball from Lockyer, finding Berrigan. Berrigan has to go back to Lockyer, who was the nearest in support, with an offload there for them. Now they're back with Berrigan for the right foot kick. It'll go over the... No, it won't. It's sat up on its point, and it's forced the play to come from Luke Burt. Burt tries to run around them, and he headed off over towards Moody. Moody tackled as the doctor takes a look at Nathan Kalis, looking at that cheekbone. Butner. Well, if they're not to have the services of Kalis, it is going to be one massive blow to the Eels. Andrew Ryan. Gee, wasn't he lacking support play down the other end of the park just a couple of minutes ago? That's a great kick. Where did it come from?
Well, it's come from nearly the 30, I believe. They made no ground in that set of 6. Parramatta looking very tired, and this man has got him out of trouble. That's at the 32. This is an enormous kick from Brad Drew.
Not a bad kick with those little legs. Long way to go. It's his 2nd of the season.
Great kick from the little hooker. Takiri only realised late, got a bad bounce. It went end on end. He couldn't catch up with the football. And what was a very ordinary set of 6, Brad Drew has been able to put a spark into the Parramatta team. And didn't they need it? They were struggling in that set of 6 to get out of trouble. A great kick on the end of it now gives them an attacking opportunity.
Well, that's where they are, down in that northeastern corner of the stadium. And it's away, wide ball for Butner, who seemingly wanted to take them on. There was no plan to do any more than just Butner take on the defence, and there didn't seem to be much anxiety about what Wagon was to do.
Ray, this is where Nathan Hindmarsh has to get involved. He's had a terribly quiet start. Chance for Moody, yes!
Moody for the corner! This time they are celebrating!
Try to Parramatta, a vital one on the back of what's been a poor start for them, but a 40-20 from Brad Drew has given them some chances. Now, as we freeze it there, what we'll see is that the Broncos only really have 1, 2, 3 defenders on the short side, and all these Parramatta players out on the edge ready to play the numbers. And as play continues, we'll see a simple little second-man play from Jason Taylor. Now gives them a 3-on-2 on the outside. Beautifully played. Hindmarsh onto Lyon, onto Moody. Winger's try, stays low to the ground and gets it down.
He reacted very late, didn't he, Sean Berrigan? He was the man that they put the second-man play on against. He'll plant his feet. There's the number 7 now. He'll plant his feet, and then he has to start moving again. By that time, the damage is done. And he's just half a metre late in coming across. I guess I've got to apologise to some degree to Nathan Hindmarsh, saying he's had a slow start. 17 tackles puts him twice as many as anyone else in his team. So he's working his butt off in defence.
Taylor missing again. They've been difficult, but we have come to expect Taylor to get them. 8-6 Parramatta, 28 minutes down. From Stadium Australia, the second of the sudden death preliminary qualifying finals as Chan comes back for Parramatta. They lead by 8-6. 2 tries, no goals for Parramatta. They've made umpteen breaks, and then things have just fallen apart. It has been an unlike Parramatta performance today. Quite amazingly, though, they're in front on the scoreboard. 8-6 the score, repeating as Parramatta plays it just outside their 30-metre line. Brad Drew trying to scheme something down the blind side. To the halfway for Hodgson. Then away for Alex Chan. Chan centres play. 42 penalty against Brisbane.
You have a look for yourself.
He played a little bit of an advantage there, did Bill Harrigan, and again, it's something that players appreciate. You can see them all in front, a metre in front. Shane Webke questioned the decision. They did have a head of steam up the Parramatta side, so probably one that could have been questioned by the defence. Violecki restarts.
Taylor through from Butner on. Wagon with it. Daniel Wagon inside the 30-metre line. Parramatta running towards the northern end as Hodgson's pass goes. I thought it looked forward, but Harrigan, relying on his touch judge, said no. Lost in the tackle, one-on-one. Put that down to another mistake by Parramatta, this time Ian Hindmarsh. Webke! Driven in a big tackle.
Yeah, Lottie Dakiri attacked the football there one-on-one, punched it out of Hindmarsh's hands. That's the thing about the Broncos defence. The forwards, well, in fact, everybody is actually attacking the ball carrier, looking for opportunities to spill the ball. Here's Saylor.
Saylor with the fullback to beat. He beats him. The second rower comes at him. Nathan Hindmarsh tackles Saylor 22 metres out. Now for Walker. Out for Lockyer. Lockyer weaving his way through. Luke Priddis is with the ball. Tackled 10 metres out from the line. De Vere. Lockyer takes Webke up with him. Webke 5 metres from the line. Now the last tackle for Brisbane as Priddis puts a kick in. Berrigan! Berrigan is over to score, and Harrigan will point to the spot.
They came about with luck at this end of the field because of strong defence at the other end. We saw Takiri force a mistake from Ian Hindmarsh, and if you continue to make mistakes at this level, you will eventually get hurt on the scoreboard. The Broncos are now taking advantage of what happened in the first 10 or 15 minutes of this game. Parramatta back on their heels to some degree. Brad Drew's 40-20 got them going forward again. But now Brisbane have the ascendancy, and it's about to be 2 further points added.
Darren Lockyer from right in front converts the try scored by Sean Berrigan. 12-8 Brisbane leading Parramatta as Andrew updates the health of Nathan Kalis.
Yeah, firstly on Nathan Kalis, he's been given the all clear by Dr. Johnson to return, but you can see at his right side, Brad Drew has just come off the field. So Brad Drew plays the first 31 minutes as we watch the play again as far as the Broncos were concerned. That was Nathan Kalis where he went down. They checked him for a facial fracture, but everything fine. But now we do enter an entire new phase of play. When Brad Drew's off the field, Parramatta a different side.
And again, we are not out far from half-time, and both of these sides have been excellent if they've led. Parramatta this year, 21 times they've been in front at the break, never been beaten. Brisbane 12 times in front, never been beaten.
Luke Burt with the restart, very, very high. And there's Solomona about to come on, David. The hang time on that kick from Luke Burt gave the defenders a very good chance to get right down there. This is the second play for Brisbane. They lead by 4. 7.5 minutes to the half-time break. 2 tries apiece. And it is Saylor who again today is proving so strong for the Broncos.
This is very Origin-like, isn't it? Look at these kick-off sets. Pumping the ball forward with big men. Wingers wanting to come in and get involved. Here's Saylor again. He didn't really want that one. He'd already had a big run. These Broncos forwards just smelling an opportunity.
Well, he's going to put a scrum down. This will not please the big fella.
Well, Bill Harrigan looked to his touch judge to see if it had been raked out or interfered with by the Parramatta player. The touch judge said no. There's a bit of grappling going on, but pretty much lost it of his own accord. It's down now. Andrew Ryan's the man lying on top. And it's hard to argue having a look at that picture.
So plenty of jostling in the scrum. Won by Parramatta. And Taylor goes across to his 5/8 Buettner, and Buettner is well taken down by Lockyer, who has been in everything so far.
Number 4 made by Parramatta. New man on number 17, David Solomona.
PJ Marsh is on, as Andrew pointed out. Andrew Ryan playing the ball on the halfway line. Back now for Michael Buettner and across for David Solomona. He beats the attempt from Dane Carlaw. He's got Hodgson with him. Solomona with a tremendous contribution. 22 metres out from the line from PJ Marsh. It's away for Jason Taylor. Taylor on the inside. Michael Buettner gets it back for Marsh. Marsh is over. Marsh with second effort. PJ Marsh has scored. Bill Harrigan points to the spot, and the Eels are back at 12-all.
On the back of a great bust here, Solomon has only just got onto the field. Footwork is certainly troubling these big Broncos players. A number of these Parramatta forwards have been able to put themselves into space today with good steps around the middle of the ruck. And Solomona surges the play forward. And it was virtually from the next play the ball that Parramatta were able to open them up through the middle. As the ball comes wide to Taylor, and we freeze it there. We can see that Taylor, with all these supporters out here and Broncos players heading in this direction, will now head back in there with his old North Sydney mate Michael Buettner to get back into space, and the dummy half Irvine will carry it on to score the try. And as play continues, Taylor back inside for Buettner, Buettner to Marsh. Marsh gets out of a tackle, jumps up, he's entitled to do that, and plants it down.
Taylor then from close proximity to put the Eels in front again. There it is from Taylor, his first success of the day. Brian Smith, the Parramatta coach, 14-12, his team in front, close to half-time. Andrew.
And Ray, with the greatest of respect to the Broncos interchange players today, Gus talked about it on the footy show this morning. I mean, you look at the Parramatta bench, the players who can make an impact. You got a run like that from Solomona that led to the try. There is no player on the Brisbane bench that can do what Solomona can do.
That was also wonderful hands from PJ Marsh. It was a difficult ball to take as the bounce favours Brisbane. Hodgson gets there just in front of Shane Walker.
Well, that was a case there for Brett Hodgson of turning a blind eye on self-preservation. I thought for a moment he might not have got up. Luke Bird has tackled 30 metres out from his own line now.
This has been extraordinary from Parramatta. I mean, they must be so unsettled in their own hearts with the way this first half has gone. Every set of six there's been an error. Every set of six there's nearly been an opportunity to score. Here's Solomona again up through the middle with footwork. They need to settle down at half-time, have a good talk to their coach.
Taylor. David Violecki taken by Kelly, got it away for Wagon. Wagon back for Alex Chan. Chan back for Wagon. A lot of ball passing, but not going anywhere. Unnecessary ball movement, really.
Well, they were keeping it alive because it was the last tackle. I feel as though someone at some stage should have been able to get boot to ball as Lockyer again dangerous out wide.
Dane Carlaw. He's been great tackle over there. Solomona and Buettner. He's been hitting them down that left side. Carlaw. And another big tackle onto Keary. Moody got him. He's setting the record. Oh, Webke's left it behind. It'll be a scrum. There's just under 3 minutes to go. Parramatta will get good field position, particularly from this set.
Good set of six in defence here from Parramatta. Shoulders into their work. And in the end, it was probably a tired run from Webke. He's been out there for a while, just took his eyes off the football. Perhaps the way to get your rhythm back, get your shoulders into your work in defence, get a few good shots on the opposition, force a turnover or two.
Twice as many errors have been made by Parramatta. Taylor working the scrum.
Back off.
And again, Bill Harrigan wants it fed again.
And get your head in, Luke. Don't bring it up again.
Intrigues me that they put a scrum down 3 times in this modern era.
You can see the white band on the knee in the second row there. That's Michael DeVere backing into the second row. As Taylor eventually gets one to the satisfaction of Bill Harrigan. Jamie Lyon over the top of Sean Berrigan.
So Parramatta, they're lined up and Solomona drops the ball. But that is David Solomona.
Well, that is Parramatta. That is Parramatta today. Incredibly, they're in front on the scoreboard, 14-12. Only a minute 28 left in this half. A scrum win here to the Broncos. Danger for the Eels. I cannot believe how much football they've dropped.
And 90% of the drop ball has been because the man catching the football or attempting to is looking at the defence coming at him. So give a rap to Brisbane. They are obviously intimidating in that area. They're taking their eye off the football at the crucial time.
And that was a perfect example, as Peter pointed out, on Solomona. Moody did it earlier. Solomona then looking at the defence rather than watching the football. Sailor! Put down by Butner and Violecki. The coach ready to head for the sheds. Burns. 2-point margin. Parramatta in front. Webke.
Yeah, if I was Brian Smith, I couldn't watch this last minute of the first half either. I'd want to be in the tunnel if anything happened.
Oh, Berrigan! They snapped him out of midair, PJ Marsh. Lockyer rolling it down to Brett Hodgson. He'll get back. He does better than that. He gets it back 10 metres. 30 seconds to go to the break. Moody.
We say in a lot of games that teams don't want half-time to come. But Parramatta can't wait for the break. They need to get in there and just reassess and have a chat to their coach as De Vere takes an intercept, and we've got seconds on the clock. This will be the last play. 5 seconds. What will they come up with?
It's out for Berrigan. Berrigan comes back. There's the hooter. Brisbane attacking. Time is there. Burns is with the ball. It came off Butner, and referee Bill Harrigan will send them to oranges, as they used to say, with Parramatta leading by 2 points. Harrigan waiting for the signal. There it is, time on, and they've gone for a very high kick-off. It's a perfect kick, and Darren Lockyer, he knew it had to be urgent. He flew above the pack, flew above his own players to bring it down. Walker, Chris playing in the centres. In fact, they're all over the place. Brisbane on many occasions. Shane Walker supposedly playing 5'8". He's come up at dummy half a lot. Sivanasiva plays it, and it's gone away for Berrigan. Berrigan on for Webke. Webke 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. The first 10 minutes after half-time is a bad period for Parramatta. They've had more points or more tries scored against them in this period than any other period of their games. They'll be aware of that. Lockyer turning it in. Walker, ball knocked down, one-on-one. Hodgson will play the ball.
Well, they did force a mistake late, but I've got to say I am shocked that they would have tried a short kick-off to start this second half. I would have thought the priority would have been to get to the other end of the field and try and force a mistake from their opponents. If the short kick-off doesn't come off, immediately you're on the back foot giving away field position.
And I guess the odds are stacked against it not coming off, as was the case then, but you can put it down to Darren Lockyer. He knew the situation better than anybody, and he contested the football better than anybody. Ryan played it back. Marsh gave it away. Taylor pushes it on out onto the left line, and then the kick back into the centre from Burt. The bounce is with Parramatta's chin. He loses the ball. So it continues.
Well, he was trying to pass, Ray, because it was the last tackle. Jason Taylor threw the wide pass to Luke Burt. He knew he had to kick, and Chan also knew that he had to get the pass away to keep it alive. Good defence there. Both Walker, Berrigan and Lockyer combining.
Michael De Vere. Probably a perfect example of the dire straits that the Broncos are in. Michael could be nowhere near game fit. Darren Burns running from open side across to the short side is tackled 3 metres on the Parramatta side of halfway. Then from Luke Prudis back to the first receiver Berrigan, the second receiver Lockyer. In and away. He's opened them up again. He looked on his inside. Here is Chris Walker, and Chris Walker losing his footing, losing the ball. It is a knock-on against Brisbane.
And I think you'll find that David Solomona slipped over in the defence line. Lockyer runs towards him, and he sees that Solomona will actually fall over in front of him. That creates a first space. He tries to position Berrigan back on the inside, but Buettner is able to sprint back and get between Lockyer and Berrigan. Lockyer has to stop, prop. He now finds Walker in support, who looks certain to score, stumbles. Jamie Lyon comes from behind, attends him, and he loses the ball in the tackle.
Well, David Solomona might have slipped, but they've got to address their defence at the moment, Parramatta, when it comes to Darren Lockyer. He set the first try up for Carlaw coming up against Ian Hindmarsh. On that occasion, he was up against Alex Chan and David Solomona. They are not the people to be taking him one-on-one.
He's almost doing it at will, Pete. 5 changes made by Parramatta, 3 by the Broncos. Solomona out wide with the ball. Offloading for Lyon, flick pass. Here's some territory for Moody. Players in support. Jamie Lyon. Jamie Lyon's away. And the young fella from Weewar, he goes in to score for Parramatta to increase their lead. 18-12. Kick it goal to come.
Beautiful try there for Parramatta. As the play comes wide, they've had a lot of luck down their side. As we freeze it there, what we will find is that Parramatta are quickly able to create a 3-on-2. Solomona will run to this player here. There's only 3 defenders there on this side of the field, and in support we'll have Jamie Lyon, who'll run to Takiri and able to put Moody on the outside. As play continues, Solomona draws the centre, 2-on-1 on the outside. The ball goes to Moody. Line up Parramatta players. It's only a matter of Moody playing it right. Lockyer tries to get him to run away. Moody plays it very cagey, gets Lockyer to commit. Jamie Lyon backs up, and again down the right-hand side of the field, the Eels have some joy.
Very poor defence there from Chris Walker. 2 men coming in on one, as Phil pointed out. Lovely ball from Jamie Lyon. And Jason Moody did very well also to commit the fullback Darren Lockyer. Threw a dummy, threw another one, drew him in, and put Lyon away. Taylor to convert.
Jason missed his first 2 kicks, but they were much harder than that. Goals that he doesn't miss. 20 points to 12, that's the biggest break either side have had. Solomona, enigmatic, and then what a ball from Jamie Lyon to back up Jason Moody. And after a pretty shaky start, what a game he's had, Jason Moody. Now he has the job of bringing Lockyer onto him, and then the youngster that threw that lovely flick pass puts it behind the uprights. And from the restart, 20 metres out from the line, it is Parramatta. Andrew is back from the sheds, has been for a while. Sorry, mate, for neglecting you.
That's all right. I will tell you very briefly from Brian Smith, well, you don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to work out what he addressed at halftime. That was ball control. One message he did send out with his team was, let's try and tire them out with some good sets of 6. On the other side of the race from Wayne Bennett, he just wanted to keep the pressure on Parramatta. We can force some errors. There was some in the Brisbane camp, I can tell you, at halftime that was still angry about the no interference call on the first Jason Moody try. And just to point, as we get to the 6-minute mark of this second half, the Broncos still with 3 fresh players on the bench. Neither Curry, Parker or Ryan have seen any game time this afternoon.
Which reminds me of Phil Gould on the footy show this morning on the preview, saying that they're going to have to win it with the players in the run-on side. He couldn't see the bench being a great advantage to them. So that doesn't surprise me that Wayne hasn't used as many changes as Brian has. Here's Berrigan. Now Lockyer back. Oh, that's a big tackle. Was that Vella? Yes, it was. Jolting at 3 from Carlaw. Dane's been playing very well for the Broncos, but that really shook him up.
I guess in racing term race, Parramatta are making a move. They're going a long way from home. They're going to up-tempo this game and see if they can wear this Broncos team out. They won't do it with mistakes like that.
Dived on by Burns. Violecki, as so many of the Parramatta players can do, holding it out in one hand. Now, Berrigan driving for an opening. Knocked down by Parramatta. Jamie Lyon was there for the intercept, and just as well he was, because I think that man Lockyer was away again.
And Wendell Saylor did so well there. Normally he's the man taking advantage of good passes. That time he opened up the play. Just look the way he comes across and opens the gap up. And Jamie Lyon here, well, he took the odds. missed that, it was the other end of the field.
An 8-point ball game. Parramatta leading. Down the short side they come with Chris Walker. Feigning to pass. Takiri, a dummy half. Taking it away from the sideline. Fending away from Moody. Running into Vella and Solomona and another. 3 metres on the Parramatta side of halfway. Luke Prittis has got Sivanasiva galloping, and Sivanasiva is tackled 20 metres in from the western touchline. They are 30 metres out as it goes over to Webke. Webke straight and hard. Prittis then coming back, answering the call of Lockyer. Lockyer! Throwing the dummy. Back it goes to Webke. Flick pass from Webke, dived on by Burns. Burns away to Kelly. Kelly puts a kick in. Sailor's got the run on, but Violecki watches it over the sideline.
Former Parramatta player Stuart Kelly. We saw Jamie Lyon try one of these in the first half. Good run here from Webke. Popped the ball out the back that was up for Lottery. Burns picks it up, gets it on to Kelly, and a little bit of the Parramatta coming out in him. Defence up, so he puts it in behind the line. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it in play.
Interesting little ploys this afternoon. Parramatta from dummy half. A lot of their players, in fact, from the very first play the ball, going across field, just exploring, looking for a hole, maybe for themselves or for somebody else. And Solomona makes a good run. Shane Webke, a much different role tonight. Solomona still going.
That is Herculean from Solomona.
Say, Ray, Shane Webke playing much wider than we've seen him in the past.
Careless away. Taylor pushing it down to Wagon on the halfway line. What about David Solomona?
Well, the trainer was just talking to him then and said, how much energy did that take out? He had his hands on his knees. He said, leave me here, I've got one more left in me.
42 metres out from the Brisbane line. Through to Wagon, now for Vella. He made a break one day this season, I remember, and he actually pulled up and waited for the defence to get to him. He was that damn tired. Replacements coming on for the Broncos. Moody and Takiri, they contest the jump. Knocked back by Takiri. Play on for Brisbane. Around the corner pass from Takiri to Walker. Walker pulled down by Butner. 12 metres out from the Brisbane line.
What about the pass from Takiri? If it wasn't enough to be contested with a bomb and then drop the ball behind you and then have Parramatta players all over you, he gets up, wrestles with them, and a little flick pass around the corner to Walker. Wayne Bennett just collapsed in his seat.
Sailor then with a loss, looking down the barrel as Matt Rogers was last night.
Brad Myers back into the action, so too Corey Parker. He's in jersey 16. His first involvement in the match as Burns makes good metres towards halfway.
Peter, we're only a week away from the grand final. This game, the loser leaves town. When do you get Brad Drew back into the action?
Very shortly, I would say.
This ball tantalisingly close to that dead ball line before it actually did the right thing for Parramatta. Lockyer, what a game he's had. He's the problem. If Parramatta are to be beaten, he is the problem, because it almost seems to me that he can cut them open whenever he wants to. If Andrew Johns is the best player in the world, and I've got no argument about that, how closely do you, I'm talking to you people at home, how closely do you put Darren Lockyer behind him? Here's Solomona, finding Butner, finding Hodgson, finding Burt. 23 away. Long ball for Taylor, draws them. Now, did it come off a shoulder and go forward? It did. Look at this, Gus.
Yeah, Solomona again. He told the trainer, I got one more left in me. Beautiful round the corner. Butner. Everyone was just attended there. The Broncos did well to scramble. They picked up Burt. There was an opportunity for Parramatta down the left. But again, looking at the defence, when they go to catch the ball, they had numbers. Hindmarsh. Violecki arguing that the ball had gone backwards. Violecki.
Basically, here's Sailor. Sailor tries to pull Brisbane back. He fends away again. Jamie Lyon runs him down. 33 away from the Parramatta line. Lockyer's a dummy half. Got the pot boiling. Let's keep going. 20-metre line for Brisbane. Trailing by 8 points. Played back to Shane Walker. They go to the right. They pick up Corey Parker, and he'll play the ball 10 metres out, centre of the ground. Penalty to Brisbane.
Now, here's a very interesting decision facing Brisbane. Do they take the give 2 points and put themselves a converted try behind? No, they're going for the full quota. Takiri against Solomona, spins out, gets over.
He's over the line. Lottie Takiri has scored. Well, Parramatta knew he was coming half an hour before he got there, but this amazingly talented winger has got the ball down.
Here's the brush by Wendell Sailor. What a game he has played. What a return to form he has enjoyed. On the inside of Butner, Solomona a little tired getting across in cover defence. It's a foot race, 1 against 6. Lyon, Butner, Hindmarsh. There'll be players coming from the far side, all looking after this big man. He put the Broncos on the attack. 2 tackles later, they got a penalty for inside the 10 metres. And as Peter Sterling said, an interesting decision to make. Do they kick for goal or tap? They just threw it to Takiri. Said, do your best. And again, you'll find some tired defenders. Solomona, he's had a couple of runs, gets brushed off easily. Big man on little man Hodgson, lunges out and puts it down. This is just sheer strength.
He got rid of some of the big defenders in the Parramatta side too. And Gus, with the decision on the penalty, it was a decision that they were making on their first penalty of the game.
Lockyer to convert from 18 in. Hits it, and it's bounced away. No goal for Lockyer. He is disappointed. 4-point ball game, 55 gone.
Shot goal off the upright, point away. Score remains Parramatta 20, the Brisbane Broncos 16.
What a game of football. Mightn't be out of the manual, but it's close enough to it. Which manual? Luke Burt starts for Parramatta. 4 points in it. Eels leading. 2016, 4 tries to 3. 10-metre line, Brisbane's end, defending the southern end of Stadium Australia, which has been, as you know, adjusted and converted back from 110,000 to something like 85, 90. There's Michael Ryan, who's on for Brisbane. Loses the ball. Parramatta's got it. Harrigan was about to call a knock-on. Now he has called a knock-on against both and will order loose head and feed to Parramatta.
Yeah, nervous start here for Ryan. Only just got onto the field. Gets out of dummy half. Well attended there by Vella. Vella falls on the ball.
Pat Rafter and Leighton Hewitt. They just can't. Yeah.
They didn't waste any time getting over to Stadium Australia after wrapping up the Davis Cup today. Congratulations to the guys.
It is about 5 yards away.
I understand that. And they're probably fairly fit. I'd say they could have got here
Parramatta then.
quite comfortably.
With Daniel Wagon. They move a bit faster than you, Snorky. 25 metres out from the Brisbane line. Parramatta leading by 4 at 20 points to 16. And we're coming up to the three-quarter point. Three-quarter mark of time gone. Now to the blind side for Kalis. Lays it back. Picked up by Marsh. Lost by Marsh. Recovered by Brisbane. Curry is on in 15.
And a problem out there for Nathan Hindmarsh at the moment. Involved in that tackle, which is his 28th of the match. Just watch how he's limping in play.
Sailor again trying to punch a gap in them. That ball went forward. There was a groan from the crowd. They got it right. But Myers is allowed to play the ball. No drama. Those calls will go your way and against you on an equal basis. Darren Burns. Probably only dreamt of making a grand final. Is he going to do it with Brisbane? Berrigan. 30 metres out the centre of the ground. And Darren Lockyer again. There's the grubber kick. Hodgson comes up, takes it, then basically surrenders. Securing the ball. Moody. 12 metres out from his own line. A quick play the ball. Butner. Buettner bumps away a would-be defender. Penalty, Parramatta. Inside the 10, Brisbane.
It's a very welcome penalty, as they all are. In answer to your earlier question, Phil, I'd have Brad Drew out there in the next minute. I think they need a little bit of inspiration. For mine, Brisbane at the moment look better with the football. I'd be getting Drew out there to put them back on the front foot.
Gee, that was a good kick for Lyon from Taylor, then for Buettner. And Wagon, he's worked hard, Wagon up the middle. I cannot believe the improvement in Wagon. And Violacki now, PJ Marsh. Buettner's with him, but Marsh takes the tackle. Michael Buettner's head went back. Then Michael Vella, and Vella will play the ball. 8 metres from the line, they go for the corner. Nathan Hindmarsh is tackled. Wagon, Buettner, Taylor, bad pass. Taylor going back towards the 10-metre line. Across it goes for Buettner. Buettner comes to Ryan, gets it away to Violacki. Violacki loses the ball backwards, dived on by Luke Burt. That is 5 tackles gone for Parramatta. Now they'll probably chance the cross kick, will they? Taylor's there. No, Hindmarsh went from dummy half. The ball travelled forward off his hands, and it's been forced in goal. And he's aiming towards the uprights.
Now we got a line drop out here.
Well, this pass of Hindmarsh's must have been struck back by one of the Brisbane players.
There's the break by PJ Marsh earlier in the set of 6. The Broncos did well. See that Luke Burt gets a little kick to the ball there. I think that there was a forward pass before that, and Kelly actually knocks the ball dead. But the pass to Burt looked as though, to me, Hindmarsh, this one out of dummy half, goes down a very narrow short side, pops the ball over the top. Now, I think that pass probably went forward to Burt. And referee allowed it to play on. An ordinary kick, knocked dead, line dropout.
That's the pass I was talking about. Hindmarsh, there's no doubt in my mind it went forward to Burt. And it's a tough call on Brisbane. It should have been a 10-metre scrum, and they should have had the feed. Instead of that, they had a line dropout, and Parramatta will get 6 more tackles at them. Not now, because the second has expired. Here's PJ Marsh out from dummy half. Throws the dummy, goes through, kicks back into the middle. Sivana Seaver is tackled. Now, was Hodgson held out of the game there?
Yes, he was. A penalty to the Eels right in front of the post. Right in front of the post. For the second time in a minute, PJ Marsh has split them through the middle of the play, the ball. He thought he had support back on the inside. He gets through, he looks, he sees blue and gold jerseys, and we can see there, I think it's Parker has grabbed Hodgson. Now Marsh will kick for him, expecting a chaser, but the chaser is down on the ground. Well picked up by the linesman. I would think that Harrigan was right in line with it as well. And this will give Taylor a chance to get out to a 6-point break.
I've got to say, I know it's a big call, but at this stage, such an important game, very close to a sin-binnable offence for mine. May well have stopped the try, which makes it a professional foul.
Well, we're talking about Brad Drew coming back into the game. I wonder, will it be this man that they will pull from the field in a matter of minutes? Jason Taylor. The way Marsh is carving them up, it'll be hard to see them pulling Marsh out of there. Taylor from right in front takes it back to a 6-point ball game. Brad Drew waiting to come back in. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Restarting his team down by 6. The match has 18.5 minutes to go.
And Ray, you mentioned the fact, would Coach Brian Smith take this man off, PJ Marsh? Well, he's making it very hard to make the change for Brad Drew. Marsh is going great guns. Jason Taylor, his goal kicking is enough to leave him out there, to be quite honest. Though Marsh is limping after that tackle, maybe that will be the catalyst.
Kalis. He was poleaxed earlier in the game. Drew's getting ready. There's Drew. What do they do? PJ's trying to get some feeling back in it. I don't know that it's been made yet, the decision. There's the kick.
just outside the 40 from Jason Taylor, but a very nice kick to pick up plenty of metres.
And I think that kick from Jason Taylor may answer Brian Smith's question too. I know that PJ Marsh is playing well, but we are talking about Brad Drew, and that man is their goal kicker. He's their field goal kicker. And this little bit of composure down the short side, threading the needle, getting the ball over the sideline when they needed it. I think they need his experience out there, Ray, but like you say, PJ Marsh has made it very difficult for the coach which one to bring off.
Well, I'm just looking down at the bench. Drew's now on the phone. His wife probably wants some milk brought home, something like that. You're kidding. Myers. This is an enthralling battle between two of the very, very good sides of the modern era.
They're still making good metres, aren't they, Brisbane? Corey Parker now does very well. Carries a player for 7 or 8 metres. That's 3 going against him. Sivanasiva takes his turn. They are still coming hard and they are coming strong.
One of the incredible things about this Brisbane performance is the personnel they're doing it without. And that pass right back in by Lottie to Keary. And Corey Parker is with it. Tackled 38 metres out on tackle number 5. Played back for Michael Ryan. Now for Darren Lockyer. There's the danger man. That'll be play on. Nathan Hindmarsh comes up with the ball. If he looks the other way, he would have seen PJ Marsh was unmarked, but he was looking to his right and not to his left. Played back to Hodgson. Hodgson gives it away now for Nathan Kalis, who decides to take them on himself, not looking at passing. 5 metres on the Brisbane side of halfway. 22 points to 16 the score. As winger Luke Burt is down, not held, up, goes again, 32 metres out, penalty against Brisbane. Again, he's got them for the 10, or has he got them for markers?
He's got them for the 10, Ray, and gee, the penalty count is really mounting against Brisbane. Jason Taylor now, an opportunity to put his team 8 in front, forcing their opponents to score twice. Centre field, 35 out. Let's have a look at where the defence retires. It's Corey Parker in front of Bill Harrigan. I'd say that he is probably the man penalised, and I would say Harrigan told him to stay out of the play, but he makes the tackle there.
You always know as a coach when Bill Harrigan stands his ground and doesn't move that there's a 10-metre penalty coming. They're only just in front, but they were, and I think about 5 of the penalties have been for exactly that, being in front of Bill Harrigan.
Big kick for Taylor. Put them 8 in front if successful. It's on its way, it's got the height, it's got the length, it's straight between the posts. It is 24-16. Brad Drew not required at the moment.
Jason Taylor, the most prolific point scorer in rugby league history, adds another 2. Parramatta lead 24-16.
It's a strange venue, Stadium Australia. You look at the crowd and you say, gee, how disappointing, but then you stop to think how big it is. This crowd is somewhere probably up in the middle 30s today, I would imagine, and I could be way out, but I would imagine middle 30s. I think Stadium Australia would be almost packed to the rafters with this crowd. We'll get the official figure for you later.
We had Michael Hagan, the Newcastle coach, on the footy show this morning. He was coming out to the game. Newcastle players. This will be the most enjoyable part of the week for them, I would imagine. Sitting back, watching this, knowing they're there, just waiting to see who they're going to take on in a week's time as that pass goes astray. Marsh does very well again. He's had an impact, certainly.
Butner. Taylor. Sailor off his own 20 metre.
Only 13 and a half minutes left in the game. Brian Smith has got to be thinking about Brad Drew. He's got to be thinking about getting his main man out there. I don't care who he's got to bring off. He's got to get Drew into the game. They can close it out.
Here's Lockyer. Back for Berrigan. Berrigan, the ball bouncing. And big fella for Parramatta, for Brisbane, Michael DeVere. Burns. Sailor. Down for Stuart Kelly. Good tackle. Little man on big man. Luke Burt on Wendell Sailor. Stuart Kelly bouncing away from would-be tacklers. Now Luke Priddis lofts it away. It's with Darren Lockyer. Here's Berrigan again. And on the end of a driving tackle from Butner. Carlaw. Myers running it to the short side. Back for Seven Receiver to go. Aiming back to the middle. And Vella hangs on. Brisbane pressing. Priddis to the 10-metre line. Priddis looking dangerous, and then they hammer him in defence. And that is how close they are on tackle 5. Shane Walker, Darren Lockyer gets it. Oh, Chris Walker tried to field the ball in heavy traffic. It went loose. It'll be a knock-on against Brisbane, and it was the last tackle. It will be the turnover. And there is the hero of the Parramatta defence on this occasion. Hodgson just rising, or it was Butner and Vella, I'm sorry. Hodgson doing the cleaning up. The other two boys responsible for a jolting tackle.
And with Hodgson unable to get back in the field of play, the referee ruled there was no advantage to Parramatta. Although Brisbane a little bit unlucky at the start of that set of 6. Well, it was a high shot from Nathan Hindmarsh on De Vere.
There's Lyon running a settling play. Nathan Hindmarsh standing, offering it like a big... Drew still trying to get into the game. Taylor putting it down to Darren Lockyer, and Lockyer back on his own 10-metre line, 20-metre line now, heading towards the 30. Just short of it, he's tackled over there by Daniel Wagon.
Well, the body language of the Brisbane side is a little bit of a problem for them at the moment. They took a long time to get back, keeping the ball alive. There are some players looking at touch tied. Seven Receiver down on his haunches. Burns taking a while to get there. Myers takes it close to halfway. Still plenty of time for them.
Darren Burns. Oh, it's gone straight through the legs of Stuart Kelly. He's got Saylor with him. He's heading towards the sideline. Flicks it back for Saylor. Saylor makes a mistake with the bounce. And Parramatta are back with it with Taylor. Wagon. His hit-ups. Wagon. 23 now. Kalis. Butner. Parramatta looking to insert another nail. They're leading by 8. Ian Hindmarsh. Bradley Myers making the tackle with Sean Berrigan. Drew is on and PJ Marsh is off, and Kalis takes it towards the centre of the ground.
Nathan Hindmarsh off, Andrew Ryan on. Last tackle on Brad Drew.
Puts the grubbing kick in, it will go dead. 20-metre restart optional. This was Drew, his first play in his second session on the park. He went 31 minutes in the first half, and he was brought on with 10 minutes of the game to go. So it's not a big usage of your #1 player, really.
I know the Broncos are looking tired, but I keep going back to many a State of Origin game where the Queenslanders can rise in the dying moments and pluck a couple of tries. The Eels have got to keep concentrating. It's only an offload, it's only a little dummy, it's only something brilliant from a Lockyer or Saylor that can put them in with a chance of winning in the dying stages. Finals football at its best.
Priddis then, dummies to Myers. Ball goes loose and Parramatta's got the ball. That looks like Taylor. Andrew.
Well, the Broncos just about to make their last interchange. It will be Webke going out there, and just a highlight, Ray, to our viewers, what a different game it is for Brisbane. It's not 17-man rugby league. 3 of their bench players today. Corey Parker only had 17 minutes. Michael Ryan, 15 minutes. And out of Michael Curry, he played no more than 6 minutes today. So it's an entirely different game for the Broncos than it has been for the 17-man Parramatta squad.
Well, the Brisbane players have got every right to be tired. Just the pressure of these games, energy sapping in themselves. Last tackle now, Hodgson at dummy half, Taylor to the right. Should just drive it deep.
Came off the Broncos, they didn't play at the ball. It is still the 5th tackle. Hodgson puts a kick in. Saylor is over there in his own in goal. Butner's come from an onside position, but Saylor runs straight at Nathan Kalis, I think it was, and he pulled him down 11 metres out from the Broncos line. Now for Darren Burns. I mean, those figures that Andrew has just given us probably typify the year that was for Brisbane. Star after star out for the season with injury as we look up at Wayne Bennett. But they have had a dreadful run with injuries, and now it would seem that they've run out of personnel. Lockyer kicking for Chris Walker. The bounce, oh! The bounce almost favoured Chris Walker to put it under the black dot, but such was not to be the case.
Well, Darren Lockyer is livid. He is saying that there was a tackle on Chris Walker when he was not in possession of the football. Let's have a look at his case. Luke Bird coming across. Bounce back to Chris Walker. Well, I think that Bird had every right to make an attempt.
You're absolutely right, Peter.
Yeah, Walker had got his hand to the ball before Burt touched him. Just going back to what I was saying earlier, it's just something from Lockyer or this man Walker. They will try things. They will not give up with 6.5 minutes left on the clock of scoring a couple of tries. They know they can do it. Parramatta have got to keep concentrating.
Butner pushing it across for Jamie Lyon. Wonderful game by the young centre three-quarter. A protege of country football. A protege, if you like, of Noel Cleal. Here's Ian Hindmarsh again. Just on his own side of the halfway. And we are now 6 minutes away from the final siren. The final siren for one of these clubs. All that will remain for the players going out will be the kangaroo tour for those lucky enough. Drew finding Lyon 30 metres out from the Brisbane line. Tackle number 5. Jason Moody is the dummy half. And now it's for Brad Drew. He puts the kick across the ground. Saylor calls it. And he can run 90 metres if you give him the space. It's a buffeting effort by Saylor.
Well, that's where the ball has got to go to Jason Taylor. There cannot be a lack of communication on the last. You do not kick the ball over to Wendell Saylor with only 3 or 4 players going through. He is that dangerous. He is in rare form. Don't give him the ball. Don't give him an opportunity.
Berrigan finding Webke and Butner solid up the middle. He's made some very valuable tackles, Butner. Some of them have been very tough.
Lockyer is wide to the right. He's got plenty of troops out there.
Here he is with the ball. Burns outside him, uses him as a decoy. Picks up Michael De Vere. De Vere will play the ball 3 metres on the Parramatta side of halfway. Newcastle sitting back, waiting in the grand final, waiting for their opposition. Kelly live at 3 p.m. and then again at 7:30 p.m. grand final day. As Lockyer gets it away, the ball goes loose. Takiri has to go back, and that's the time he gave Jamie Lyon to make the tackle, and then Parramatta's come up with the ball.
Yeah, strip one-on-one there from Jamie Lyon on Lottie Takiri. Huge play with under 5 minutes to go.
Another side of it. One-on-one situation. It goes to ground. Play by Andrew Ryan now. Jason Moody. Moody with one to beat. He goes across the 20-metre line, loses his footing, bounces up again, and then is tackled again. Drew offloading. Kalis up the middle. Wagon knocks on. And it's been knocked on by Brisbane as well. So it will be a scrum. Little Brisbane will get the loose head and feed too.
3:44 left on the clock. Daniel Wagon joins the Parramatta list of players dropping the ball while looking at the defence. This game will prepare them. It will harden them for next week. It will be one they want to forget. But after the fortnight's break, that can sometimes happen to you. I thought despite their courage last night, the Knights were a little out of sorts themselves. So it sets up for a great grand final.
Don't get too premature, Phil. 3.5 minutes to go in this game.
Solomona out of the back of the scrum. Solomona a metre from the line. Butner, long ball. Taylor. Now it's with Violecki. Flicks it back into Luke Burt. Wonderful combination out there. Here's Andrew Ryan flick passing for Violecki, and then it appeared to be knocked on by both Parramatta and Brisbane.
Well, that's ridiculous play, absolutely ridiculous play in a grand final qualifier. 2.5 minutes left, 2 tackles against you. You go a short side where nothing is happening and give the football away.
Darren Burns injured. And obviously in a lot of pain, but a discomfort there for Darren.
I would say that he's either dislocated that or just jolted it. He's coming back into the scrum. Tough boy, Darren Burns. I agree with Peter Sterling. They've done some uncharacteristic things today, some silly things, Parramatta.
They lead by 8, and there's 2.5 minutes to go. You would think they are safe. Chris Walker's pass, battered down by Takiri, picked up by Lockyer, kept alive by Lockyer. It is with De Vere now. 31 metres out from his own line. Webke through to Berrigan. This is their 4th preliminary qualifying final consecutively, and they've lost the previous 3. As I said, they look comfortable today. They look as though they're going to make it. Takiri. Steamrolling run. Webke for Priddis. Back for Lockyer. Lockyer puts a little kick over. Jamie Lyon has got the ball for Parramatta. There's 1 3/4 minutes left.
Yeah, well done there by Jamie Lyon. He's given the last pass to a couple of tries, created a couple, scored one. This time getting back on the loose ball. The last opportunity there for the Broncos to set up a grandstand finish. He's had a big game, an important job marking out there on Walker and Takiri. And he and Moody have been the ones that have prized them open on the scoreboard. As the Blue and Gold Army start to go up now and chant down this last minute of the quarter.
Played by Nathan Kalis. Drew taken by Myers. There's been a lot of urgency shown over getting Daniel Wagon off the park. I'm not sure what his problem is, but they've put Nathan Hindmarsh on for the last minute. Alan Wilson, the trainer, has been frantically trying to get Wagon off, and I'm just wondering if he's okay. There's a shot of him. So the final scrum of the game. Parramatta will go to the grand final. Berrigan for Takiri, then for Darren Lockyer. Out wide, he tries to slice them open again. Sailor, his last rugby league game, expiring in 15 seconds from now. A magnificent rugby league career. Takiri, Kelly for Lockyer. Lockyer drifting across the park. De Vere passing off the ground. The siren is about to sound. Bill Harrigan has given a penalty to Parramatta. It is a formality, but it has to be taken.
David Violecki's 40 metres away. He's up shaking hands with Darren Lockyer near halfway.
Well, there's tremendous excitement with this rugby league audience they call the Blue and Gold Army as Solomona goes through the process of the final play of the day, and Parramatta, resounding victors of the minor premiership, have beaten Brisbane to go through to the grand final, 24 points to 16.